up, wake up, wake up. Come on, y'all. Get with it, get with it, get with it. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Y'all can't
Peggy.
Look.
Peggy, where are you writing? Peggy,
She's so busy.
Writing?
Girl.
You writing us
come
a
on,
letter?
Come on. We can't hear you. Come on. Talk back to us, Peggy. Back up. Come on, Peggy.
Peggy is in a deep writing mode.
Peggy,
like, let me get some.
Girl.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, my
good
sisters.
morning.
What is going on today?
Woo.
Woo.
Coffee is
it's
going
health
on today.
and wellness, and I'm trying to get healthy and well. So I just want to let y'all know your coordinator today is not coordinated.
Come on.
Linda, I get it. What happened?
I don't know. Yes, I was in the bed for 24 hours yesterday, and I couldn't get up. So it was ugly, and I got enough strength to come in to this morning. So
what did you take? Did you take something in?
I couldn't even take anything. I didn't have enough strength to. I didn't drink any water. I couldn't do anything. Wow. I tried. I think I drank a sip of water, but I didn't have the energy to do anything.
Oh my God.
Anything.
24-hour kind of
it was something. It must have been because I'm thank God I was worried about today. It's like, oh Lord, am I gonna make it today?
It's all good, girl. You here, and that's what
the residual is still there, but because I can't find anything, I
can't think. Okay,
my brain is still in fog, so y'all forgive me today. I'll do the best.
Yeah, I don't like those times because I get up and I can't stay in the bed, so I just jump up. I'm like, I don't know where I got this strength, but I'm gonna crawl outside. I'm gonna crawl outside.
We're so used to being busy, we can't even sit still. It's like this is not normal for us to be laying down, or we don't feel productive.
I couldn't do anything. I came downstairs because Erica told me, wanted to know what my temperature was, and I said, "Oh, a thermometer." Okay, it's downstairs. I had to go. It took me I don't know how long to get downstairs, and then it's under a cushion in the hallway.
Cushion. Okay.
It took me forever to get everything off of that.
So did you get your temperature? So what's the
temperature? I got it, and I didn't have a temperature.
Okay, that's good.
So that was
it could have been, it's stuff is going on in the air, and
I caught it. Whatever it was, I caught it big time yesterday. Yeah. So
well, we glad to be here.
I'm here, and if I happen to leave, and I'll be right back. Okay.
What you say, Peg?
No, I was asking, could it have been something that she had eaten?
I don't know.
Someplace you'd gone, maybe?
I haven't been anywhere, so I don't know.
You haven't been anywhere? Or somebody?
Other than I went to one store, I think, this week, and that's about it. And I had my hand sanitizer, my mask on, and I don't know, but anyway, I'm here, y'all.
You're here, dear. That's what
I know. But you know how we are since COVID. We always try to. We like, where did it happen at? Because I just had two friends that catch COVID. They never got it over the 3 years, and all of a sudden they got it, and they're like, we don't even know where we got it from.
I was afraid that was it. It was like, oh God, no, please don't let me have COVID.
You don't have COVID. You do not have COVID. You just have your body saying, let's re-strengthen.
Yeah,
let's relax and regenerate. Yeah, something like that.
So with that being said, I'm Wyoming.
I'm Peg.
And I'm Linda.
And I'm Charlene.
And we are
4 Sisters Live. 4 Sisters who care.
Because there's so much going on. This is a hot weekend. It's a hot month. Look, we have the Super Bowl coming up. We have Valentine's. We got some Valentine's hearts and stuff going on. Yay!
Yeah, happy Black Love Day coming.
Yeah.
IO is having a symposium online, but happy Valentine's Day coming.
Yeah, happy Black
Love Day.
Happy Black History.
Black History Month.
You know, it's just so much. This is heart. This is
February
heart health. This is Heart Health Month.
Yes.
So it's a lot going on in February with such 28 days in it.
Yeah. The shortest month
of the year.
And it has the most in it. Yeah, it's
a lot going on. But it's all good. It's all about us.
Is it President's Day? Is that this weekend?
It's a lot going
President's Day.
President's Day. So
is it when? Monday?
I think so.
I'm
It's
so
coming up.
behind. Wait a minute.
Yeah, President's Day.
No, it's
See, I'm
actually
like,
on the
maybe
20th.
it's next week.
Yeah, it's
It's on the
coming
20th.
up.
20th?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So,
Next week.
Charlene, speaking of the 20th, give us some short, brief political, your stance on the State of the Union address, darling.
I apologize, but I just couldn't listen to anything. So I don't know anything. So I'll just be frank. I didn't get to hear it. All I got to hear was a bunch of my Republican friends complaining, like, oh man, he's saying nothing. So I said, you know what? I had to listen for myself. So I apologize. I did not listen, but I did find out that the grids in North Carolina got shot up and it cut off some people's energy. So that's a political move. I don't care what nobody say. They knew what was going on. And that has been not only prophesied, but it's already predicted that our grids will be attacked. And it's happening right now. Yeah. And my mother is a witness, and aunties down there in Pinehurst, North Carolina, you know, where Michael Jordan and used to stay at near Fayetteville. They've already started. So anyway, that's my political. I don't know what he's talking about over there in Biden world, but I'll come back next week and tell you. I didn't watch. I had too much going on. Okay.
I know. But it's all good. Peg, what's up in your world, girl?
Oh my goodness. Y'all guys missed a beautiful event yesterday.
Oh, don't rub it in, Peggy.
Oh,
Don't
my
talk about
goodness.
it. Don't talk about it.
Don't talk about it. I just
You know, our brother Jim Page
let's give
opened
it
up
up.
really a technology hub,
Mm-hmm.
and it's down in Arlington, Virginia. And he had a ribbon cutting yesterday,
Mhm.
and he had probably about 75 people, and it was simply beautiful. You would be very proud of what is happening in Arlington, Virginia.
Mm.
And it was his birthday as well, and it was just wonderful. He had his
Nice.
family there. Yeah, kudos, my brother.
Yeah,
kudos to
kudos.
you.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
We got to bring
That's
him on. Maybe next week he can come on and talk to us about what he got going on.
Yeah, that's
Exactly.
under education and mentoring. Yeah.
Yes, let's get
Yeah,
him.
let's get him in, because that's
Okay,
good,
I
Peggy.
sure will.
So I understand there is another congratulatory moment here.
It
We have
is,
an office
Peggy.
now, Peggy.
Peggy has
Oh, honey, we got office.
Ah.
Office.
Ah.
Office.
Really?
Office.
Office.
Sisters for Sisters Network has a headquarters.
Okay.
Nobody but God. That's all I can say. So now, if you need to come in and do a workshop, training, seminar,
That sounds good.
we got the space to do
You
it.
got the space. That's what I was getting ready to say. Do you have the space to accommodate the things?
Two
that you
conference
want?
room.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Wait a minute, Peggy. Tell him this. He owns the bottom floor, like that whole floor, like it's like a suite. Like that's a big thing inside of those corporate buildings. He owns the suite.
That's good, Peggy.
It's
That's
huge.
wonderful.
So where is it located? Do you mind telling the people?
Yeah,
where
it's
located?
1401 Mercantile Lane up in Upper Marlboro.
Good.
You know, right off of 202 in our
Yeah.
community. Yeah.
God, that is something nice, because
And while you remember, we got together a couple of years, I think prior to the pandemic, we
Mhm.
went to his office downtown DC. So now he has Prince George's County, he has DC, and he has Virginia.
That's
Oh,
wonderful.
Peggy, I'm
Brother is doing
wonderful.
well.
That's
Woo!
good. That is
That is
awesome. But that
That is
congratulations to us.
But you know what that comes from? It comes
What?
from
relationships.
relationships,
Mm-hmm.
networking,
Yeah.
Mhm.
collaboration,
Yes.
Mm.
and being honest and real what our
Mhm.
situation is.
Mhm,
He
mhm.
actually adopted Sisters for Sisters Network.
Hallelujah.
That's
Oh my God.
wonderful.
Hallelujah.
That's wonderful.
Congratulations. That's great. That's good news,
But
guys.
that speaks
That's
to
great
your
news.
character.
Hi, Kathy.
also.
We got Kathy
Hi, Kathy.
showing
Come
up.
on in, sisters
Kathy.
and brothers and everybody. Come on in, chime in, share, love, like our page. We got a
Terry
lot
is in
going
the
on.
house. Hey,
Hi,
Terry.
Terry.
But Peggy,
Hello,
I wanted to say
Helen.
this.
Oh,
Hi,
yeah,
Helen.
welcome. Hi,
Helen is saying
hi.
something. Hey,
Welcome.
Helen.
What's going on, Charlene?
Yeah, I'm just saying, it speaks to Peggy's character and her commitment to
Yes.
the organization. I think we can learn a lot from Madam President Peggy Morris, Sisters for Sisters Network. Seriously, about building relationships and not thinking that things have to happen overnight. And I'm just going to talk a little forward. You know, sometimes we get in relationships in business and in life, and we want the foreplay, we want the whole cadaddles. before that, but everything is about the foreplay, right? Everything is about building up
Building
to
up.
that moment. When that real moment comes, you guys got to know one another, and they know your character, they know your integrity, and they know your commitment. And I definitely am so super blessed to know that happened because you were ready, you were aligned, and you put the work in. And people can hate when people put the work in. I just wrote about that this morning. Like, stop hating on people when you don't know what they've been through.
Come on
That's
now.
right.
To get
on
there,
now.
Right.
they
This is
got
true.
there because they put the work in. You didn't get to see them when they lost things. You didn't get to see them when they gave up stuff. You didn't get to see when they were sick and couldn't afford a bill anymore.
Come
You
on.
didn't see when they came back up to go right back down, to go back up.
Yes.
So stop
Yes.
hating on
Say so.
people and just pray for them and say, you know what, I don't know how she got here, but she here
She's
now.
here. That's all that
And
matters.
that was reason very important that I showed up yesterday. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
I see.
You know, all of us can't be everywhere, but if I can go and represent us, when I go, I represent all of us.
She does.
That's
She
what
does.
I did. I
Yeah.
went, and I have to give kudos to our latest member, Cynthia Kelly. That young
Oh,
lady,
Cynthia.
that
She is
woman went
rocking.
down there and she pulled it together. You understand what I'm saying?
That's nice.
And when you got a team that work together, although about 4 or 5 of us went down yesterday early, enough time to help out, it was teamwork.
Yes.
It takes a lot to pull these events off. I don't care if it's a wedding, it's a graduation, it's a prom. It takes time and it takes planning.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's
it
the
does take
key.
planning.
I think Linda ran to the
She'll be
bathroom.
right back after these messages. But keep going, keep going. But you're so right. Cynthia is such a team player. And you know, when we think we're at that least, I'm telling y'all, Peggy is my template. When you think that you've lost it all, and when you think that there's no help, God will send help. He will supply your needs.
Come on now.
He supplied us with Cynthia Kelly. He's supplying us with other people just to fill in for those who may not can. We're not saying nothing bad about anyone, but no one that can.
Yes,
God got you, Peggy. God got you, Wyoming. God got you, Linda. But Peggy, He got you. No matter what happens, He will send a backup. He will send a ram in the bush. Hear me? Okay.
That's true.
Charlene, you said it so well. That is honestly the truth. And you know, we all are going through something, you know, and maybe not as bad as others, but we survived it all. Even Linda survived it from yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Yeah. But it's a testimony to our faith, our tenacity, and what we're doing to hang on to. Because if you don't have the faith, this is a faith walk.
Come on now, you better say that again.
Yes,
This is
it
a faith
is.
walk.
Why?
Yes,
And
it is.
we don't have that size, as they say, of the mustard seed to even move a mountain.
We all have
mountains won't be moved because they're going to come. It's
That's
going to
right.
come. But what is your faith? Where is it? What place are you putting it
And
so
where's
that
your
you
work?
can overcome these obstacles? I promise you, it will happen because you have the support. You have the people around you. I just saw when Kathy put women helping women to connect. This is the motto of Sisters for Sisters Network. But I want to say it's people helping people.
Right.
To connect.
We're human.
We're
because
human people to connect it.
Yes.
And get the right people around your circle, and hey,
things will happen.
Things will happen. Things will happen.
Well,
so it's a great day. It's a health day, a wellness day. It's your day,
Health and
Linda.
wellness, yes.
What's
Back to you,
on,
Linda.
girl? What's going on, girl?
Y'all may give me while the brain fog is.
Well, we got your back. You just keep
But
moving.
today,
We got you.
For health and wellness, we have two wonderful ladies that are going to speak to us today. We have two. We have one of our sisters, Tempe. Can't get my tongue together this morning. Tempe Satcher. She's going to bring to us a testimonial. This is going to be a new segment that I'm going to start for health and wellness. I love me some me. And she's going to talk. I love me some me. We're going to talk about the courageous things that we have done. Just a little 10-minute segment that used to be big. We're going to bring it back. So she's going to tell us about her testimony and why she loves me some me. And we have Dr. Shanetta Scott. She's going to talk to us about mental wellness and our children, and the different experiences that, of course, that she's had with working with this. So, and forgive me, I can't find my notes today. So
it's all good. Let's go to the Black History moment.
We're going to go to our Black History moment and our birthdays.
Yeah.
Black History moments, birthdays. We'll go to birthdays first.
Peggy, who we have celebrating birthdays?
Birthdays.
Yeah, I have Marty Bell, which is actually my biological sister.
Marty,
birthday, Marty.
Marty, 54.
Lucas celebrated on the 5th. Lauren Lassiter on the 10th. Linda Marsha on the 10th. Reverend Dr. Amina Butts is celebrating on tomorrow, the 12th. Yes.
Yes.
And then Jacqueline Younger is on the 26th.
Happy
birthday, my sister.
Happy birthday, y'all. Can't find the horn. Can't find it.
That's okay. We got
it. To you.
There you go.
Happy birthday to you.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Oh,
here it
is.
Toot.
I found
You better, girl, you getting better already. You found enough air in your lungs.
it was behind the computer. Okay. Yes. And,
good job, Linda.
Okay, so now we also have our Black History moments and our Black History birthdays. So we have Alice Walker, author of The Color Purple. She was born 1944 on the 9th of February. And on the 10th of February, we have Leontine Price, one of my favorite world-renowned opera singers, born in 1927. We have Roberta Flack, DC's own, another famous person.
Yes.
1937. So she's still here. And then we have Nelson Mandela is our Black History moment. He was released from South Africa on February the 11th. He was released from the South African prison after being detained for 27 years as a political prisoner. And that was in 1990. And we also have Frederick Douglass, was born on the 14th on Valentine's Day, believe it or not.
Really?
Yes, Frederick Douglass, the great emancipator, born in 1818. How about that?
Frederick Douglass has a serious history.
And another Black History moment is Morehouse College was founded as Augusta's Institute. As Augusta Institute. That's what the original name was. In 1867.
These are some great moments.
Yeah, we have some
awesome.
great moments that we had in history.
Yeah, that's awesome. And we have two Black brothers who will be starting off in the Super Bowl. Woo! That's a great history. Yes.
Wait a minute. We got another Black History moment too.
What's that?
Babyface is performing at the Super Bowl.
Really? Oh my goodness.
Let me give you more. Okay, I'm sorry I had too much insight, but Babyface is performing and Cheryl
Lee Ralph.
She's going to be performing Lift Every Voice and Sing. The first time ever. Black Anthem is going to be performed at the NFL. Go NFL.
Okay. Whatever. Amen.
Yeah.
That's going to be awesome. And the highlight of the Super Bowl is Rihanna Riri.
No, it's not.
Yes,
it's
it is.
Babyface.
Oh!
I'm like, I like you, Rihanna, but Babyface is my highlight.
Hey, Charlene, I'm with you. Babyface.
Those are my two favorites. So I'm sorry. I love both.
It's going to be a great.
I like both of them.
I did too.
I love
but
them.
I love.
Why?
Yes, ma'am.
Guess what? I meant to tell you guys. Guess what I saw yesterday?
Who?
Dr. Gina Bell.
No way.
She was at the event yesterday.
Wonderful.
Yeah, so she asked for you guys.
So we got
to Gina. I'll say hey to her now.
Yeah, we got to get her in. So we got all these things going on. So definitely
all this stuff going on. So let's get the show on the road here. We're gonna come and start with our family. Sister Tempe. She's coming on. This is I don't have her bio in front of me, but
let me introduce her.
And I'll let the sister
let the sister introduce her. May I please have the floor?
Yes.
No. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce my sister, and I think I'm being sensitive right now because it is my sister, my blood sister. She's worked so hard. She
History
is
in the making.
working so hard, and I'm so proud of her. I'm the eldest sister, but you would think she's my big sister. You know how I go, Peggy? You
No
got
way. I can't
no
believe
way.
this.
She thinks she's my big sister, but I'm her big sister. I'm the oldest, but I'm so proud of her. She is just making strides as an entrepreneur, and she's coming to talk about her health, which I'm so proud of her in that area as well. And she really has gone through, but God has blessed her to live to see and go through it. And I think it's a testament to all of us as to where we have to keep our health intact or check up on our doctor's visits as to don't take anything for granted. Don't walk around thinking you okay. Go please to your doctors, because my sister didn't have to be here today. And she's going to probably tell you as to why God has blessed her and healed her body to keep her going. And we all are here for a purpose. If we live through it, we're here for a purpose. So she's taking no prisoners. And she's doing her thing. So I love her. And I want to say that for Valentine's Day, I wanted to put the plug that our brother passed away, but his birthday is on Valentine's Day. So we celebrate my brother even on Valentine's. But ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's see her video. Tippy Satcher, my sister.
Potato go from this to this.
Can't see.
These pies
for the
are
picture, Dante.
made 100% creativity and 100% love. From the peeling of the sweet potato to packing them in the box, all made with love. TEMPIE, Tempi, Tempe. It's in my name.
Tippy, what's up, girl?
Tippy. Does that commercial make you happy? That commercial just made me happy.
Hi, ladies, and thank y'all for having me on today. I'm so excited. I had a little tear in my eye because my sister, she brought me on so well, and I thank you for that. I say, today is a great day, and it's what you make it. And yes, I love me some me.
Yes, there you go. There you go.
Rings today I have on.
So
people probably looking at why in the world did they introduce her with a sweet potato pie? Well, I want you guys to know that you can have your pie and eat it too, because now that I have been once upon a time diabetic, I'm letting people know that you can get a diabetic pie with agave or no sugar, and it still tastes just as good. So don't be out there, audience, telling some, why would they be promoting a pie? They talking about health. That's why.
Got a healthy pie.
I wanted to also just share the goodness of how God has told me to take this temple. We only get one temple. And you have to learn how to drive that steering wheel and don't let the doctors dictate to you on everything of your life and everything of your temple, because you got to realize that they have an income and they have kids and college tuitions and stuff that they have to try to fulfill. So they're going to try it off of you. But when you take back the steering wheel, just let everyone know, just before COVID, I got that V shot. And they keep telling me, stop blaming it on the V shot. Stop saying that the V shot gave you diabetes. I don't care what nobody say. I'm blaming the V shot because I pay attention to my body, and I notice, and I start taking a video diary of myself once I got the vaccination. And I noticed around about maybe the 16th day, I would go on Facebook and post a video of how I was feeling each day. So
Talk about it.
Yes, and so I caught this real bad cramp. My husband and I, we was walking the beach in Virginia Beach, and I said, "Lord, this is not your average cramp. This cramp was like, it was something I couldn't even shake it out, couldn't massage it out, couldn't squeeze it out. I don't know what was going on." So once we got that cramp out, I said, well, maybe I need to put some potassium. So I went and just kind of doused myself with coconut water. I don't know if you all know the benefits of coconut water, but coconut water has a lot of potassium in it. Just read up on it yourself. So I kept drinking this coconut water. And then I noticed my throat just kept being dry. I kept on wanting to eat ice. I kept on wanting to drink cold water, wanted to eat popsicles. I'm like, something just not right. So after we made our trip back home from Virginia Beach, I didn't want to trouble my family. So I drove myself to emergency room, and I went to a hospital that's way away from our areas in Fort Washington, and I'm in Northeast DC. So I drove to the hospital, and once they saw me, I like the hospital because they get to see you real fast. You don't have to have a long wait. So when I got back there in the back, and the doctor, you know, did a little test, he rang this bell, ding, 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 ketoacidosis. I'm like, well, what is that? He says, ma'am, you are type 2 diabetic. I said, well, what happened to being pre-diabetic? I go to the doctor. I mean, what happened to being pre-diabetic? He says, I don't know, but they gave me, you know, some insulin to try to bring my sugar. Guys, please, please, it's so important to know all of your numbers, your blood pressure, your A1C. Get to know them if you don't know them. But my A1C, they say it's supposed to be 7 and below. My A1C was at 13. And that next number, 14, would have been stroke and heart attack range. So I didn't know. And then my glucose, they want your glucose to be within 120 and below. My glucose, drum roll, was at 887.
Ooh, my goodness.
I didn't understand what was going on with me, but they said, we want you to see your primary doctor. This was on a Saturday. They said, we want you to see your primary doctor on Monday. Well, I said, I'm going to go do a walk-in. So when Monday morning came, I tried to get myself dressed to go and do a walk-in. As I was getting dressed, I passed out.
Oh, what?
Even the worst scare of his life. You hear me? So he called 911, and when I came to, it was one of the paramedics that I grew up with in our church, Union Temple. She was like, Tempe, and I'm looking at her. She said, hey, sis, we're not used to seeing you like this, honey. We used to seeing you singing on a karaoke mic or something like that. So they took me to the emergency room. I was in ICU for 48 hours and didn't understand I was in ICU. I didn't know I was as critical as I didn't feel all those things. You know what I'm saying? I'm asking questions. A person that was beside me in the next room, you know, in those emergency rooms, it's only a curtain that divides. Yeah. And a person had passed away. This was during COVID as well. A person had passed away from COVID that was right a curtain away from me. Then they brought in a young lady that was 23 years old. She had COVID and she passed away. So I'm like, Lord Jesus, all these emergency room that I'm in, they all passing away. So I'm still not really taking serious that I was as critical as I was. So I'm asking the doctor, I'm fast forwarding a little bit. Like, why is everybody in this, emergency room getting rooms and I'm still here? So the doctor was like, oh, mommy, you so sick. You so sick. Look at your numbers. I said, doc, don't pump that in my head. I'm not so sick. He says, well, we have to keep you for a while. We cannot let you go into a private room yet until we get your numbers down. I just thank God that I did not feel the way that they was saying, because I was ordering food. I was ordering ice. I was ordering water, like I was in a hotel or something. They was like, well, ma'am, you cannot have anything right now. I said, well, I'm thirsty. So I would get the janitor. You know that the janitors sweeping the floor. I was like, come here for me. Can you go give me some of that good ice they got? I know y'all got an ice machine. Get me some ice. He says, ma'am, I'm the janitor. Well, where do you think you are? He said, you must be spoiled. He said, who be spoiling you? You got a husband? I said, honey, yes. And he does spoil me. So just go get me some ice. But to fast forward, y'all, I just thank God, because when they did finally put me in a room, I'm used to walking, I'm used to exercising. I have to add that into my repertoire every day. So I'm hooked up to all these machines. So I'm telling you all now that I'm in my own private room. So they got the monitors and everything. I'm in the bed and it's time for me to get up and exercise. So when I start doing my little aerobics in the room, all these nurses and doctors come running in the room, and it's like, whoa. And I'm looking at them like they crazy. Just Miss, what are you doing? I said, oh, I'm doing my fitness. This is what I'm used to doing. Going every day. So I'm just letting you all know how important exercising, when you have anything going on with your body. If you know your numbers, please, y'all, I know I don't have much time left, but the main thing I really want to cover is that know your numbers for your body. Know your A1C, which is supposed to be under 7. Know your blood pressure, 120/80, or anything, that bottom number, you watch that diastolic number. Know your sugar, glucose number, anything over 120 and above, start getting it down. And one thing that will help, if you know that you ate something that you didn't have any business eating, water and exercise is your friend. I'm not going to tell people to change their diet and stop eating this, that, and the third, but I start my morning. I'm trying to talk fast because I want to get this in for y'all. Tell me my time is up.
It's almost
my time almost up, but I start my morning every morning when I go walking. I always have this boost, which got everything, and it's got your thyroid support, iodine, selenium, it's got hair and skin and nail support, biotin, it has the zinc, it has calcium and vitamin D, and you have to get the one that's safe for women. Don't just get any boost, because some of them can make you gain weight, but this is my friend. Last but not least, another thing that I do along with my exercise and my drinking water, I got this soursop tea. These are the leaves. You make this, you can make it as cold or you can make it hot. Sweeten it with agave, or you don't have to have any sweetener. Put it in a regular little water bottle and drink on it, honey. Your numbers will be so happy, and your body and your temple will really truly thank you for it.
So the bottom line is,
great girl.
Are you still diabetic now?
So when I went to the doctors 2 weeks ago, my doctor, my endocrinologist, he I hope I'm saying that word right. Endocrinologist, you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, we know you're talking about.
Yeah. So I went to see him because I have both primary doctor and I have an endocrinologist. So when I went to see my endocrinologist, he took my A1C and he was scratching his head and he was kind of silent for a good little while and sitting over in his corner. And I'm thinking he reading my chart, but he just couldn't. He was so baffled. So he said, "So, Miss Thatcher, tell me again what you're doing." I said, "What you mean?" He says, "Your A1C is 5.8. It went down even more from the last time you were there."
Good Lord. Woo!
Wow.
Of these medicines. So which one do you want to be taking off? I said, "You giving me a choice?" I said, "Honey, I don't want to be on none of it." Right. He says, "Well, I don't want to take you off right away because," I said, "Well, because I got to keep off the fat." He said, "No, because we don't know if this is something that your body really needs, so we want to take you slow." I said, "Guess what, Doc? You told me that 3 months ago, because the last 3 months when I came, you told me that if my numbers are still the same, you was going to take me out the medicine. So now we're here at that 3 time. So go on, take me off that medicine. I'm not taking that medicine no more. I'm going to go back on my natural herbs." I said, "This is my temple. It's time for me to take the steering wheel. I gave you guys a year." Really, my numbers was back within 6 months, but I gave them a year so that they can really have a little confidence in their job and what they went to school for.
Right.
So,
don't give them nothing, Tempe. I'm so proud of you.
Yeah.
My daughter.
You get a clap. You get a clap and a toot, because that's the whole purpose of this segment, because you're conquering it and you love me some me, and you got to love yourself. And that's the only way you're going to really help yourself. And I thank you so much, Tempe, for being that first testimonial.
Thank you so much, Tempe.
Awesome. And you can eat your pie and too. That's what I love about it. So
sometimes, Tempe, sometimes don't be eating that stuff.
But see, Tempe makes the pies with no sugar, so that's a natural pie.
Yeah,
you have to do everything.
You're muted.
And you still have to add that form of exercise. So don't go do
exercise. Exercise keeps the blood flowing.
Work together hand in hand. You have to walk. I'm not gonna say go and try to be a bodybuilder. Just something as simple as walking. We have a beautiful trail where I walk. Y'all can come and join me sometimes. or just walk wherever you know where you live or whatever. Get that walk in and keep that water with you at all times.
Thank you so much.
One question.
Exercise and water.
You mentioned about the boost. I've heard that is excellent, and I'm going to go out and get that myself.
So get the boost that says for women. Other ones, because other ones, you know, some people
too
have
much sugar.
Not just that. Some people have problem with gaining weight or losing weight, so they would have to have the boost as a meal replacement.
Yeah.
Well, it's a meal replacement, but you want to be modified for just whatever your condition is. So, yeah.
Good job. Thank you so much.
Anybody else type of questions or concerns to ask me, feel free. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram, Tempe Lee Sweet Potato Pies, and on Facebook, Tempe Satcher. And I would not have no problem sharing, because these are things that your doctor is not going to tell you.
Right. That's
have
so
to due diligence.
Be the CEO of your body.
That's right.
I love it. Thank you, Tempe. That was so amazing.
Love you, girl.
Thank you for saving another life. Okay. Thank you, Tempe.
Thank you.
Save someone's life.
Kudos, girl. Bye-bye.
Wow, that is awesome. Yes.
Wow.
You can control it by yourself. And that's what I want to prove to people, that, you know, we need to go to our doctors. So once you find out what's going on, God gave you everything that you need. So that means it's growing in the yard somewhere. Okay. So, and that's all we have to do.
But it's so good, Linda, that you bring people like that to teach them to love themselves, because we still don't know. And I know my father was totally healed from diabetes like her, where he actually did pay. And I thought I was going to lose him when I was a junior in high school, but I forgot to tell her Great Seed also would help. But yeah, we need people like that every time on your health show.
Yeah, we will.
Remind us
I want people to have some help. Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing her.
Yes, indeed. Beautiful.
Well, our next young lady, we have Dr. Shanita C. Scott, PhD. I met her through Dr. Amina Butts, our sister, and she is a licensed psychologist and certified group psychotherapist who has been involved in the human and social services field for over 35 years, providing social and psychological services for adults, children, and families. She holds a doctorate degree in counseling psychology from Howard University and master's of psychology through Eastern New Mexico University, bachelor's degree in psychology from the University of Florida. Throughout her career, Dr. Scott has served in a variety of capacities and has addressed a myriad of issues relating to youth and family services, mental health, teenage pregnancy, domestic violence, youth involved in the juvenile justice system, cultural, human diversity, and family preservation. She says that I am a seeker of spiritual, educational, professional, and bestowed knowledge and experiences that are aligned with coming home to myself and my witness, and to support children, teens, and families in their journeys. I bring to everyone Dr. Shanita Scott.
Wow.
Yay. Hey, Dr. Shanita, how you doing?
Hello, I am well. I have my marching orders from Miss Satcher. I've got some work to do.
Yes. She's woke all of us up.
All of us do. I do too.
We do. We all do.
So that's why we want to bring her on. So now we got to deal with the mind.
Yes, thank you very much. And just to start us off, can I do the next slide?
Next slide. Thank you.
Is that the slide you want, Dr. Scott?
Uh-oh, she frozen.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Points
Let's
to
get off the screen for a second, D.
Provide care and support of our children and youth.
Let's bring it back. Yeah, Dr. Scott will be back on, and she's frozen. We can contact her and get her back on. So I want to focus on, before we're getting her back on, then we're speaking today about the mental health of our children. Am I correct? Okay.
Yes.
Well, this is much a great conversation to have, because, we've been speaking about our children and where they are mentally at this point in our life, in society, and there's a lot going on, and we don't know to what degree this is happening and why. So I'm Noah's doctor is going to explain a lot of that to us. Mute yourself, Lynn, so that we can understand more as to why these things are going on. It's got to be something, ladies. Something's going on.
Well, you got a lot going on. I mean, if we as adults can't handle the pressure of staying at home, during the COVID time, I'm sure it's the same. It's even worse for kids who don't understand confinement. And I think it's a lot to do with the confinement. We had to deal with the shifting, the immediately shifting. Remember, they're so used to having things handed to them. We as adults that are 40 and above, we kind of know when things shift, we just move right in. When COVID happened, it was, if you were not used to shifting and you didn't have that kind of lifestyle where things shifted always, whether you homeless or whether the lights are turned off or whether a car went down, that's very hard for a person. And even if that person lived in, like I call, maybe a situation that kind of had a little bit of shifting, this is a hard shift for the rich and the poor and the middle class, right? If you want to give 3 classes, I think it was the shifting that happened, and it was very strong, and we cannot change that, because I've been watching my son and how he deals with things, but luckily he had us telling him how to balance life in this school thing, and knowing that this is the way life is now. This is you guys' future. This is how things are going to look, right? You are now in the Jetson, where we looked at it when we were your age. You are now living inside of that age, and now how do you deal with it? And so the other people that's shifting needs to be the teachers, the counselors inside the school, and they need to be, delivering these messages to the kids. And we as parents should be delivering those same messages and helping them to find the coping skills to deal with it. It's not that bad. Think about it. In the 70s, when Vietnam War was happening, Americans didn't know what was going to happen. Like, oh my God, they're going to come and blow up America too? Think about what was shifting there. I mean, so we've all been through it, but this seems like it's a bit more extreme, but our parents are able to talk to us and say, baby, you good. We were watching Vietnamese people move into our neighborhood in houses with like 20 of them in one house. And we're trying to understand, like, what's going on over there, Mom? You be nice to them anyway. They call refugees, they love Jesus too. We got to, share with them, because what happened in their country, So my parents did a good job of explaining to me, it's the shifting of the world. This is the way the world is. But for the most part, kids are coping a little different. They have other alternatives, like we had other alternatives in the 60s and 70s. I mean, that's just my take on it. But I just think it's us as a community helping us all to shift, and understand that it's okay. Things gonna happen. Ain't no need for you to act like, no, you're gonna still have to get out there and work. Instead of there being a 2-parent household or 2 incomes, it's now 3 to 4 incomes now.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
yeah.
Peggy, what you gonna say?
No, I was agreeing with Charlene was saying. It's so true. It's also we got to get to the root, and let's take a look at this whole thing with domestic violence. These kids are living in that environment. So that's all they see. They see the abuse. They see the screaming and hollering, beating.
They're witnessing it every day.
What do you expect for them to come out to be normal?
Right. They can't be
you're
normal.
Living in that, you're not living in a normal situation.
Right.
So these kids are coming out of their household, coming into the public, and they're taking it out on other people.
It's the frustrations that they don't know how to deal with because they're so young. Because you notice that it's all these 13. They starting at 13 and younger, and so they don't even know how to process what they're going through because they haven't reached maturity yet.
I think it's so good. Our viewers are out there saying, Reverend Butts is saying we need more resources in the schools. Also, Helen is saying the same thing. We need more resources. period.
Yeah.
So I think this is true. We do need the resources to help with these those that are dealing with domestic violence, or father just lost his job, or some people are not dealing with domestic violence, they're just dealing with the fact they're going to be homeless next month because
Yeah.
dad lost his good job, and mama never worked, so all three of them got to go back to work. So it's a lot of
Exactly.
situations out
Exactly.
there. But talk about the domestic violence that happened during COVID inside these homes. They were already witnessing it. They said that it went up how much, Wyoming? I think it went up triple
Yeah,
time.
the numbers were very high,
It was
very
even
high in
higher.
terms of how it's, over a certain percentage of where the kids in the family, because of the COVID and where we were in the pandemic, a lot of people, of course, we were quarantined, and all of them were not used to being in a tight space or home alone together, along with that situation. So it brought out more of the personalities.
Yeah.
I think people were beginning to
Because
know
you
who
really
they
had
are
to deal with the personality that you didn't want to deal with. So you could
in the
leave at
first
one
place.
time, but then you
Right.
couldn't leave. So then we're right here now.
Right. And the children was witnessing it more because even though it was like my escapist school during
They can't even
COVID,
go to
they
school.
got to witness this man constantly picking fights with not only the mother, right, but them. So yeah,
But I
can see
want to
the
shout out and kudos to the families who did not have these situations,
That's
because there
true.
were families who
Yeah.
did know how to
It
hold
brought,
their
it
families
brought some
together,
families together.
brought some families together. They had know how to come together, even talk, sit down at the table, have discussions, come up with creative ways so that they can cope with each
Yeah.
other, have their children do things together with them. And I really heard testimonies of families who really kept their families and their children, because it's so important as parents to keep your children at peace. It is your responsibility.
It
Yeah.
is it's such a responsibility. We did so many things. I mean, I think we are IT family, I wasn't even in IT. We took so many classes at Johns Hopkins and IBM. I'm like, hey, technology is the way it's going to be. Our whole family got
Mhm.
IT certified
Absolutely.
during that time, but it brought us
Okay.
together,
I think
But
we have our guest back. Do we not? Could she come in?
Yes,
Because
she
we just,
is.
there
yay!
she
Oh, thank
is. We're
you.
just
Yes.
carrying on, Dr. Scott, till you came back, girl. We're making it work. So how you
I
doing?
appreciate that. I appreciate that. I
Okay,
appreciate that.
let's pick up where you left off. Was that the slide?
Yes,
Okay.
we were at the slides, and so this first slide is just when we talk about looking and observing our youth that we see are in distress. One thing that I wanted to acknowledge here, and for us to remember when we're seeking to support and care for them, that what we are seeing is just the tip of the iceberg, because there's so much that's going on inside of them. And so it's so important to be conscious and aware and curious and sensitive in the way that we approach them, because we want to foster resilience in them. So next slide, please. So one thing, you may very much be aware that during the whole public health emergency, during, the whole time that we
Uh-oh.
Oh.
All right. So she may have to talk without her slides. Seem like that may be a
Maybe,
hindrance, and just give it to us from her end. But everybody snap that picture, because there you go. The state of mental health, children and adolescents.
That's true.
Look like in late 2021.
Okay, because it was spooling. I couldn't tell if I was there, if I'd lost you again.
We're here.
But before the pandemic, there was already a concern about the state of our young people, and so this is just acknowledging that, back in 2016, even we were looking at DC and seeing that 47% of the young people were having adverse childhood experiences, and that was above the national number of what they were seeing. And then in 2018, so I'm going backwards here. In 2018, we also had acknowledgement, and they had a special task force on the Hill about the state of Black children, because in years past we weren't seeing suicidal behavior in our Black children, but in 2018 there was a published report in the JAMA Pediatrics Journal that we had children who were under 13 who were showing double the rate of children who were white their same age in terms of suicidal behavior, which took us into the pandemic. And what I was saying was, during the pandemic, we were hearing so many children who were showing suicidal ideation, and we had unfortunately completed suicides. And so that prompted the American Academy of Pediatrics putting out a statement about the national state of emergency for all children and adolescents' mental health. And then our Surgeon General followed up later that same year with an advisory, just acknowledging that we needed to pay attention to our young people. So I just wanted to kind of ground in that even before the pandemic, we were already getting a sense that our young people were in trouble and that we needed to pay attention.
Awesome.
Next slide, please. So you saw in that study in 2016, when they were talking about adverse childhood experiences, just to say where this comes from, in the mid-90s, there was a physician who was Dr. Vincent Folletti, and he and some others were working for the Centers for Disease Control and Kaiser Permanente. And they had 10 questions that were connected to childhood experiences that they were seeing were, when they looked at the adults and their health care, we're talking about healthcare today, right? When they were looking at their health care, they had these experiences from their childhood that they were seeing were kind of connected and correlated. And so that was done in the 90s. And these are the list of those, when we think about the 10 adverse childhood experiences, they are here. So given the interest of time, I'm not going to read them, but that they are here. But I want to acknowledge that in 2012 and 2013, there is a Black pediatrician in Philadelphia, and he's named Dr. Roy Wade. He and his team, looked at the ACE work, and then they wanted to expand on it because, as I said, these were related to what the children were experiencing in their homes. And Dr. Wade and his team wanted to add to that and look at experiences that are in the community. So they added to this to research experiences of witnessing community violence, experiences with racism and discrimination, neighborhood experience of adverse situations such as observing shootings, experiences with bullying, and being in foster care. So there was just a recognition that not only looking at, anytime we think about children, we want to look at it from a perspective of whole school, whole community, whole child. And so that was the great thing that Dr. Wade and his researchers did, was to add to what is the child experiencing in their community. So next slide, please. So when you think about all of that, and you think about the school environment, and I like this slide. There's another slide that also talks about, and it has the teacher standing there, and the teacher has different things, right, that they're dealing with too, that are going to be interfacing. But this is just in the interest of us looking at children and teens today, to recognize that when a child is coming into the school to be available for learning, there's a lot that they usually need to unpack first to be able to, be available. And so this is just acknowledging that.
So good. So good.
Yes, yes,
Slide,
yes.
please. So what I love, besides this sweet little picture here, is that when we have our young people, and we know that some of our children do rise to the level of that their symptoms are significantly impacting their function in their home and their school and in their community, and they rise to a level of meeting criteria for a mental disorder that requires clinical treatment. And so that clinical treatment can be individual therapy, group therapy, and or family therapy, based on what is needed for that child. What I want to highlight here is that we need to help children, help teens, help ourselves know that we are more than our mental disorder, right? As human beings, we want to be seen in our totality of our complexities. We want to matter. Oprah used to always talk about that. We want to matter. We want to have significance, and have that mirror back to us that we matter, right? So we want to give opportunities for our young people to speak what they're feeling, to to have us listen to them, to have support and patience and understanding, to treat them with respect, engage them with healthy communications and understanding boundaries to help them navigate friendships. And then amplify their talents, their strengths, their interests. My cousin and I used to always do these little impromptu talent shows for our uncles and our aunt, just to put us on stage, so that we see that somebody sees us in our excellence, right? And to amplify their awesomeness. It's just so important. So important.
Dr. Scott, when the essence of time,
Yes.
I want to get in one question. We have
Yes.
about a minute or two left in our segment.
Yes.
So one question I'm interested in asking, thanks for the slides. They're awesome. It's really
Absolutely.
nice.
Yes.
What are the students saying that they need in their schools to support their mental health? Thank you, Dante.
Yes, so absolutely. The young people, we even had some young people to testify here in DC at our city council. They're very much about having access to mental health in schools where they are, right? Because they spend most of their time during the school year in school, and they want to have support for their mental health in their schools, know how to access it, know who the people are, what are their names, so that they can access it. There are some young people who are saying they want mental health in their health curriculum, so that they can understand the signs and symptoms for themselves, and also different strategies for coping.
Wow. Can we squeeze in one more question?
I got one more question to ask. Dr. Scott, I'm going to be on the opposing side, where in your study, or is there studies to show where we don't use mental health as a crutch? And because some kids do take advantage of just that when it comes to their learning or so on and so forth. Is there any studies to show that? And how do you, curb that to make sure that we are narrowing it down where the student actually understands, let's not use this as a crutch, but let's know that this is access to you, just like it is access if you had a headache, a real headache that was prolonging.
Yeah, I think when you think in terms of whole community, whole school, whole community, whole child, accountability for what you're responsible for your learning, for your behavior, that is not something that is being sidelined, right? Accountability and responsibility and consequences for your behavior, those things are significant and important for health, right? For functioning as a responsive citizen, community person. So there are restorative justice circles that talk about the impact of my behavior on another. So there's a piece around accountability, restorative justice. All of those are very much a part of the mental health whole environment, right?
Yeah.
The school culture, right? So it is to not to have a stigma around the fact that I have challenges that are related to mental illness, mental wellness, that I have challenges there. I don't have a stigma to have to hold in that and not ask for help, and at the same time to be accountable for my behavior and how my functioning impacts another person. Right?
That's so good. Thank you.
This is good stuff. Linda, this has been great. We got this health and wellness.
We need a part two on this one. Yes.
I was going to say the same thing. We need a part two.
Because we're so concerned about our children. And I like that cartoon, just like you said, that little kid carrying that baggage.
That's so powerful.
When that kid comes right in. What was it? Hunger? What are the three things?
Homelessness.
But there's so many more. But I
like that one. Hunger, sickness, homelessness. You don't know what they're packing.
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it. Thank you so much, Dr. Scott. We appreciate you coming on.
Yes.
Always don't have much time, but thank you.
And we definitely will have you back on, because we need to talk about this more. And even with our children, maybe we can bring it on our youth.
Yes.
Because the young people need to understand what's going on. Right. So many of them don't understand. But I do like the fact that they're putting it in the school, just like they put other counseling, the nurse, and everything else they've had in the school.
And to Miss Charlene's point, I just want to say, when we didn't have time about it, but But when we talk about adverse childhood experiences, that does not define the person either, right? And that we have to make sure that we communicate that.
Good. Awesome.
Yes.
Good stuff. Thank you so much, Dr. Scott. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Oh, that was amazing. Super. I like that.
Awesome. I love it.
That's an all-day workshop. Trust me.
It is.
Yeah, you see those slides? I mean, everything that was bulleted in terms of how the
Thank you,
children.
Dr. Butts.
All
Yeah,
those
Reverend
are
Butts
topics
is saying
in
that.
itself.
Reverend Butts, we are going to work on some things this year. I'm telling
Yes,
you, college
I love
education,
it.
entrepreneur. It is a must thing because I'm telling you, I love research, and Dr. Scott bought the research.
Yes, she did.
Yes.
So we got next week. We'll continue the research and education mentoring. Linda, who we have next week, Charlene? Who we
I
have?
hope we got Dr. James over there that
Yes,
left me
yes.
and went downtown without me. I'm just kidding. Both our days are busy, but I look forward to having him along with another guest. But we gotta do better, and there are people out there that's trying to help our community. So looking forward to speaking with them and educating us on what's next right here in the DMV area.
Charlene's segment next week, y'all. Make sure y'all tune in.
You better tune in.
So, Lynn, what's the deal next, baby? Say what
time is it?
What time is it? It's time for
you to walk
in your purpose and prosperity. Thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you next week. We out. Bye-bye.